President Trump is vowing to make changes to immigration crackdowns involving farm workers. It's a change of course after days of federal enforcement at farms throughout California. Our ABC 10 News reporter Laura Acevedo spoke with the president of the United Farm Workers Union, who says we'll all pay the price if something doesn't change soon.
The UFW president thinks the entire country would eventually be affected if this enforcement were to continue. That's because most of the country's produce, including some of what you see here, is grown in California.
Farm workers are terrified, yes, but they're showing up for work.
Videos like this one show ICE and Border Patrol conducting enforcement operations at farms across the state earlier this week, chasing and detaining farm workers. This incident in Ventura County, all part of a crackdown of undocumented workers in the country. This video from Omaha, Nebraska, dozens arrested at a meat production plant.
They are responsible for the food that we eat every single day. These people are not criminals.
Teresa Romero is the president of the United Farm Workers, a labor union representing farm workers in the country, mostly in California, founded by Dolores Huerta and Cesar Chavez.
Our farmers are being hurt badly by, they have very good workers.
Thursday, President Donald Trump changing his tune about the recent enforcement, promising changes are coming to immigration crackdowns involving farm workers and hotel workers. Details not yet announced.
And we're going to have to do something about that. We can't take farmers and take all their people and send them back because they don't have maybe what they're supposed to have.
Romero says the president's announcement is welcome and necessary news, especially for the families who are being impacted.
If he's really in charge, these rates are going to stop. If he's concerned about agriculture, these rates are going to stop.
And worries if the administration doesn't take action soon, we could all be paying the price at the grocery store if food goes without being harvested.
Food is being rotten. Then we're all are going to be affected because when we go to the market, we're not going to find the food that we are used to. And if we find it, it's going to be much more expensive.
Laura Acevedo, ABC 10 News.
Tariff talks top of mind. South Florida farmers say they're in trouble. Crops are rotting on the vine, and they're blaming the ongoing trade wars and immigration changes.
What does this mean for the future of our food? The Night Team's Heather Walker has a look at tonight's 7 Investigates.
Perfectly good tomatoes are being plowed over instead of picked. It's a sad scene happening in South Florida.
You can't even afford to pick them right now between the cost of the labor and the inputs that go in. It's more cost effective for the farmers to just plow them right now.
Heather Moling understands the struggles that farmers are facing right now. She's part of the family that runs the Homestead produce stand. Robert is here.
These are local tomatoes here.
She says farmers used to get $16 for a box of tomatoes. It's now down to $3 or $4.
Just a horrible price. Some of that has been from what Mexico is bringing into the country, and some of that has been just with the threat of the tariffs.
Farmers say President Trump's tariffs and the threat of tariffs have caused thousands of acres of tomatoes to go to waste because the cost to pack and pick them is more than what tomatoes are selling for this year.
It costs you, close to, probably over $10 a box, close to $11 a box to break even. So if you're selling tomatoes for $3 and $4 and $5, you can just figure out pretty quickly what the losses are.
Tony Damari with Damari Homestead says his company has experienced huge losses. He won't disclose how much, but says South Florida farmers are hurting.
The Mexican industry exported, in some cases, double and triple their daily volumes as to beat being subject to the 25% tariff in February and March and the 10% tariff in April. That just devastated our markets in the U.S.
Those tariffs never went into effect, but the damage was done. When Mexico flooded the market with cheap tomatoes, local farmers couldn't compete and didn't even bother picking their fields. Now the U.S. government has plans to put an anti-dumping duty on fresh Mexican tomatoes starting in July to try and prevent that from happening again. And it's not just tomatoes from Mexico that's hurting our farmers. South Florida sends a lot of different produce to Canada, which put a 25% tariff on our crops.
Another watermelon grower in the state had called me about concern and question on the tariff. His customers in Canada, which Canada for the Florida watermelon growers in the springtime is a big market, had told him that they, because of the tariff and the added cost to Florida watermelons, they were in fact wanting to bypass sourcing Florida watermelons for this spring as long as the 25% tariff was in place. In fact, they were going to source their watermelon needs from Mexico.
Immigration changes are also taking a toll. Many pickers are afraid to go to work.
Many workers have left. Others are leaving now.
This man agreed to talk to us if we agreed to hide his identity. He's worried about being deported.
A lot of people are really afraid, and sometimes they come, sometimes they don't come, and the harvest is lost because it cannot be harvested. So that's why so much produce is lost.
What's the feeling from farmers right now? Like, how are you feeling?
Not very good, to be honest with you.
And with the current policies on tariffs and immigration, Florida farmers are not planting a secure future. Heather Walker, 7 News.